Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, Hayden Deegan, Justin Cooper, Ken Roxon, Jason Anderson, Christian Craig, Justin Hill, and Vince Friese are just a few of the guys that we're going to get to see race over these next couple of months. World Supercross is officially kicking off in Argentina this weekend, and I personally could not be more excited. We have 5 weekends of racing over the next 6 weeks in 5 different countries in 5 different continents. There's a lot of different riders competing. The format is completely different, and if you want to watch, you're going to need to buy a streaming service, which is pretty affordable, and if you want it to be even more affordable, make sure you stick around to the end. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Anyways, in this video, we're going to go over the riders, the format, the schedule, and how to watch, and we're going to do it all in less than 20 minutes. All right, so the first thing we're going to get into is all of the riders competing in the series. We will go over which riders are wildcard riders that are only participating in part of the series, what numbers everyone's going to be running, and all of that. This is not an expansive list of every single rider, just most of the well-known riders, and the wildcard riders are subject to change. Anyways, starting off in the SX1 class, or the 450 class, we're going to go through in numerical order. So number 1, defending champion from last year, we have Eli Tomac. Unfortunately, this year he's only competing in 2 rounds. That's going to be the Canadian round and the Australian round, which is round 2 and 3. But just remember, he is in that Australian round as we go through the list here. Second up, we have number 2, Cooper Webb, and he's only competing in Australia. So we'll get a nice little Tomac and Webb battle right there. Then jumping down to number 17, we have Joey Savacci. He was able to get 3rd in the championship last year, and he also won a race. We saw him look pretty good in American Supercross this year, and he's still with the same team. He should definitely be a top 5 guy once again, and he's probably going to finish 3rd in the championship again. On the number 20, we have Greg Aranda. He's going to be on Team GSM, which is a Yamaha team, and he'll be teammates with Jordi Tixier, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Then on the number 21, we have Jason Anderson, and he is joining the series for the first time and competing in the full series, so he should be able to be a championship contender for sure. We get to see him on that Suzuki for the first time, so that should be a lot of fun. Then on the number 28, we have Christian Craig. He's also competing in the full series. I don't quite know that I want to consider him a championship contender. He is just switching to that Quadlock Honda team, so he is teammates with Joey Savacci. That's a really solid team there. I would put them in second, right behind the Suzuki team. But as far as the overall team championship, they definitely have a good chance once you see the SX2 class. But anyways, I think Christian Craig will be a top 5 guy and probably finish right around 4th in the championship. Then at number 29, we have Henry Miller. He looked pretty solid in Supercross this year. He was able to finish right around that top 10, but I believe that was in the 250 class. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how he does on the 450. Then we have 2 more wild cards with the number 32 of Justin Cooper. He's doing round number 1 at Buenos Aires and round number 2 at Canada. So we'll get a nice little Eli Tomac versus Justin Cooper battle at Canada. And then of course we have the one that everybody is so excited about, myself included, the number 38, Hayden Deegan, making his 450 debut. He's going to be at round number 1 in Buenos Aires as well, and he'll also be in Australia. So we'll get Hayden Deegan and Justin Cooper versus the rest of the field that we're talking about at Buenos Aires, round 1. And then at round 3 in Australia, we get Tomac, Webb, and Deegan versus the rest of the field. Then at number 46, don't count this guy out, we have Justin Hill. He was able to be pretty solid in Supercross once again, and he's done World Supercross before, so he definitely knows the format and knows how to be a contender. At number 88, we have Devin Simonson. Really not sure what to expect out of him. It looks like he did re-sign with Club MX. He did like 2 races coming off of an injury in the 250 class this year and looked pretty good, but then we never saw him for outdoors or anything like that. I believe he was on a Supercross only deal. Anyways, he looked capable. Really hard to say exactly where he's going to stack up in this field. 94, of course, we have Ken Roxon. He's a 2-time, I believe, champion as far as the World Supercross Series goes. He's only lost once to Eli Tomac. I'm sure he would like to come out here and redeem himself, get the championship back under his name, and looking at this field, I think he definitely has a great shot at that. At number 98, we have Austin Politelli. Then at number 99, we have Jorge Zaragoza, I guess would be how you say his name. The interesting thing about him is he is Vince Friese's teammate on the Starkvarg, so I thought that was worth mentioning. Then at 102, we have Matt Moss, another capable rider. Number 200, we have Ryan Brees. We've seen him be successful in supercross and especially successful in arena cross. Definitely another capable rider, and a lot of these tracks are smaller arena cross style tracks, so he could definitely see success here as well. Then we have another pretty exciting guy in number 719, Vince Friese. He's also on the Starkvarg, and we all know he's a very capable starter and very good at blocking riders or aggressively passing them. Should be a lot of fun on a silent and zippy motorcycle. And then rounding out the field that we're going to talk about right now is the 911 of Jordi Tixier. So like I said earlier, that is Greg Aranda's teammate. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that Tom Vial was confirmed to be doing at least part of this series at one point, and then rumors popped up that he wasn't. And he has since posted on his social media saying that he will be racing Supercross this winter. So exactly what that looks like remains to be seen. There are other off-season Supercross races that are not World Supercross, so that does not mean that he will be in World Supercross. But I can already feel somebody typing up in the comments, hey, what about Tom Vial? And as of right now, we just really don't know. Jumping into the SX2 or the 250 class, at the top with the number 1, your defending champion, we have Shane McElrath. All these guys we're going to talk about are all supposed to be in for the full series, obviously barring injuries. Number 2, we have Cole Thompson. He was 3rd in the championship last year, definitely a capable rider and going to be a contender. Maybe the championship is going to be a little bit hard for him. I think we're going to see a McElrath versus Anstey versus Shock battle, but anyways. Number 2, Cole Thompson. Then another pretty exciting entry, we have the number 11 of Kyle Chisholm. We've seen him be pretty successful throughout the years on the 250. We know he knows how to ride it. I'm sure he's on his way out of professional racing, so I don't expect too much, but he'll still be in there mixing it up. Another guy that a lot of people are going to be excited about is the number 16 of Enzo Lopes. He's been racing World Supercross for quite a while. I remember not too long ago, he ended up going down and dislocating his shoulder, and then still raced and did pretty well. So he definitely considers himself a contender, and he's got that grit. It seems like he's still not fully recovered from getting that arm pump surgery. So that is really unfortunate, but we did see him come and compete in American Supercross this year, and he did fairly well. That was racing for the Bar X team this year. So at least there's that. Hopefully he's trending in the right direction. Then number 39, we have Noah Vinny. He's still riding for MCR. We saw him come out and try to race some American Supercross this year, and he did okay, but he ended up getting a shoulder injury, I believe. So he didn't really get a lot of experience in his rookie season. Then we have his teammate, Colin Park. He's looked pretty good at times, but he's definitely trending a little bit down compared to where he was a few years ago. Still a capable rider and should be pretty fun to watch. Number 64, we have Robbie Wageman. Then at 69, we have Cody Schock. I thought it was interesting that he chose to stick with the number 69, which was his earned number from last year, and then this year he was 37. Either way, he got 2nd in the championship last year. I think he even won some races. Definitely a guy that you cannot count out. He's looking better and better each year, so I'm really excited to see how he can do this year. Then at 95, we have Lance Kobush. He is one of the Starkvarg riders in the SX2 class. They're supposed to be detuning the motors to be at a certain horsepower that should theoretically match the 250s, so we'll have to keep an eye on exactly how that plays out. Then at number 99, we have Max Anstey. He has to be considered your title favorite. He's definitely a capable Supercross rider. He'd be a title favorite even in American Supercross. So anyway, it's going to be tough to beat him. At 110, we have Kyle Peters, another really capable rider. He's seen a lot of success in arena cross. Can't really count him out. At 141, we have Maxime Desprez, another guy who knows how to ride a motorcycle. Not sure exactly if he's going to be a top 10 guy or how he's going to all shake out. And then at 460, we have Michael Hicks. This one I'm pretty excited about. He's also on the Starkvarg. We've seen him be very successful in arena cross lately. As I stated earlier, a lot of these are smaller tracks. This could really suit him well if he's able to get a lot of good starts. And then rounding out the field on the 945, we have Anthony Bourdon. And I am really happy to see this. We saw him get absolutely decimated earlier in the season when he was riding for Bar X. He ended up having a catastrophic injury and was unable to compete for pretty much the whole season. So the fact that he's back out here and riding is really great to see. He's been a really good Supercross rider. We saw him come out and ride for that Suzuki team 2 years ago in American Supercross, and he was like a top 4 guy in the championship or something at one point. So anyways, it's great to see him back out here. All right, next I quickly want to walk you guys through the schedule. If you're anything like me, you probably thought it was all spread out and kind of just whatever. It's actually really easy to understand if you just break it down. So this weekend, November 8th, we're going to be going to Buenos Aires in Argentina. Then the next weekend, we go all the way to Canada in Vancouver. We take 1 weekend off to travel to Australia. And then on November 29th, Thanksgiving weekend, we do that race in Australia. The following weekend, we go to Sweden to race in Stockholm, December 6th. And then to finish off the season, December 13th, the following weekend after that, we go to the South African GP to race in Cape Town. So we end up doing 5 races in 6 weekends. Pretty straightforward, all on Saturdays. A 5-round championship still feels a little bit short, but when you consider the format and that it's 3 races per round and each race pays out championship points, that essentially means that it's 3 main events, almost Triple Crown style, but picture instead of Olympic scoring, it's motocross style scoring. So each main event pays championship points. So in that aspect, it's almost like a 15-round series. So let me just briefly clarify the format entirely. Basically what happens is you have a set amount of riders. It should be 22 riders per class. So the main event is essentially already set when everyone shows up. They still do a qualifying round to determine gate pick as well as just to practice the track. From the qualifying times, the riders will be seeded into heat races. Fastest qualifier will be first gate pick for heat 1, and second fastest will be first gate pick for heat 2, and so on. Now, to be clear, there's not nearly as much on the line in these heat races because in the SX2 class, everybody transfers straight to the main event. So it's just a matter of really getting that lane choice and getting some races under your belt on the track. So the winners of the heat races will be your first and second picks for the main events, with the fastest heat race getting the first choice. Things do get a little bit more spicy though in the SX1 class because the top 10 transfer to the Super Pole, and then 11 through 22 go directly to the main event. The Super Pole is essentially a 1-lap time trial where each rider goes out individually and tries to put down their fastest lap. It's just kind of a chance to show off, and it's pretty cool to watch. It does favor riders that are good at doing fast laps, but maybe not good starters or just good racers in general. So like think of somebody like Cooper Webb versus Justin Cooper. Cooper Webb is generally not as fast as a qualifier as Justin Cooper, but generally races better. So this type of format would lend its hand to giving Justin Cooper a much better lane choice. Anyways, the fastest qualifier in the SX2 class and the winner of the Super Pole gets 1 more bonus point in the championship. So with that bonus point in mind, the maximum amount of points you can earn per round is 76 points. So that is quite a bit more than the typical 25 that we're used to. Now you might be wondering, just how long are these races or main events? Well, they are pretty short and they go based off of laps, not time like we're used to. It's kind of almost like old school Supercross. Again, both classes do 3 races. The SX2 class does a 6-lap, a 6-lap, and a 10-lap race. And then the SX1 class does an 8-lap, an 8-lap, and a 12-lap. So even that 12-lap main event is probably going to be under 10 minutes long. So you're probably thinking, man, that's really easy on these guys. It's going to be hard for them to even get tired at all. But keep in mind that all of the SX2 races go and then all of the SX1 races go. They don't alternate. So there's not much of a break. They're saying that it's about a 5-minute break in between the main events. Not much time to recover, just maybe do a couple of minor bike tweaks, top off your gas if you need to, or if you're on the Stark, I don't really know what they're going to do. But if you guys haven't seen these before, it's essentially like grab one super quick interview and then bam, the gate drops again. So there is quite a bit of action, and also there's a really good chance to immediately redeem yourself or the story to change very quickly one main event to the next. One thing I could not find for certain is whether or not they reselect gates based off of the previous race's finish, but going off of memory, I'm pretty sure they just keep the same lane every single time, which would be pretty interesting if that's the case, if guys are continuously banging bars right off the gate. Either way, I don't have an answer for you on that part. You're just gonna have to wait and see. Now, the last thing we're gonna cover is how to watch the series. And just like most things these days, it is offered through a streaming service. It's really not that expensive, and if you really only want to tune in to, say, watch Hayden Deegan race, it's even cheaper because you can buy select rounds. You do not need to go and buy the whole series if you don't want to, but really it's probably worth it to just get the whole thing. So there's a few ways that you can go and get it. What you're going to want to do is start off by going to the World Supercross website. And if you just want to do it the easy way, at the top there's a watch option. Click on that and it'll give you a link to buy the season pass for $30. Pretty straightforward, $6 a race. Can't really beat that. Nice and simple. Log in, give it your information to pay it, and you're done. From there, you do pretty much have to watch it right on your mobile device, whether that's a desktop, laptop, cell phone, iPad, whatever the case may be. You can obviously sometimes stream those to your TV, however you want to do it. That part's all up to you. If you want to only buy select rounds, then what you can do is go ahead and buy Recast credits. Recast is the streaming service they're using. And essentially what it breaks down is it's roughly $7 a round. You got to buy the credits individually. But what's interesting, and here's the little loophole that I was talking about in the intro, the more credits that you buy, the more bonus credits they give you. So if you scroll down, you see the 90-day option. It says that it costs 2,143 credits or $30. Here's where things get interesting. If you go a little bit up on the page, you'll see your credit balance, which should be 0 if you haven't bought any yet. If you go to that and click on it, it allows you to manually input the amount of credits that you want to buy. And if you enter 1,918 credits, 1918, you'll see that it also throws in an additional 225 free bonus credits. So by the time you buy those 1,918 credits, that's significantly cheaper than the 2,143. And with the 225 bonus credits that you get, that actually gets you right back up to 2,143, which should be enough credits to go ahead and buy the 90 days. So anyways, to buy the 1,918 credits, that's only $26.85, saving you a few bucks. And that ends up coming out to $5.37 per round. So anyways, that is the way to save a few bucks. Really, I'm not sure if it's worth all the trouble when you could just go through and buy the $30 package and be done with it. But if you want to save the money, that's right there to do it as well. It's right on their website. I can confirm it does work. So anyways, that's how you can watch it. I'll definitely be watching it and covering the races as they go along. So make sure you guys tune in for that. I will also be doing my typical race day updates format show as the race gets closer. If you guys made it this far in the video and you have not already, please consider subscribing. It really does mean a lot, and you guys just helped me get over 10,000 subscribers, so I really do appreciate that growth, and I'm excited as we head into a new year and new season of racing. But for now, we're just going to cover these off-season races and those storylines that go along with it, as well as these team changes that are all being finalized. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.